Em, we need to go now. Ethan's voice cuts through the air like a blade, but I'm frozen at my apartment window, watching the city burn below us. The sirens are so loud I can feel them in my bones, and those black rifts in the sky are spreading like cracks in glass. But none of that matters right now, because I'm staring at Jenny by the door, holding our emergency bag, and something is very, very wrong. Wait, what about the plan? I'm screaming, but my voice sounds distant, like it's coming from someone else. We've been preparing for this for months. The three of us, together, like we always said we'd be. Ethan and I have been dating for 3 years, and Jenny's been my best friend since college. We made a pact. No matter what happens, we stick together. So why is she avoiding my eyes? That's when I see it. The look. It's just a split second, but it might as well be a knife to the heart. Ethan and Jenny exchange this glance, this moment of perfect understanding, and I'm not part of it. For the first time in 3 years, I'm on the outside looking in, and the ground beneath my feet feels like it's crumbling faster than the city below. Jenny's face goes cold, like someone just flipped a switch. The plan changed, Em. We can't carry dead weight anymore. Dead weight. The words hit me like a physical blow. Dead weight. 3 years of friendship, of being there for each other through breakups and job losses and family drama. 3 years of Jenny calling me at 2 a.m. when she couldn't sleep, of me driving across town to bring her soup when she was sick, of us laughing until our stomachs hurt over the stupidest things, and I'm dead weight. There's only enough supplies for 2 people, Ethan says, and he won't even look at me. This is the man who kissed my forehead this morning and whispered, "I love you," in my ear. The man who told me just yesterday that we'd get through anything as long as we had each other. You understand, right, Em? No, I don't understand. I don't understand how the person who's supposed to love me most can stand there watching my best friend lock me out of my own apartment. I don't understand how 3 years of "I love yous" and "we're in this together" can disappear the second things get scary. You never contributed to our survival plans anyway, Jenny says, and she's actually taking my car keys from the hook by the door. My car keys. So this is really just natural selection. Natural selection. Like I'm some weak animal that deserves to die. Like everything I've done, everything I've given, everything I've been to them means nothing. Jenny's packing canned food that I bought, bottled water that I carried up 4 flights of stairs, medical supplies that I researched and purchased. But apparently, I never contributed. The creatures from those rifts don't just kill you, they play with you first. I learned that over the next 3 days as I hid in abandoned buildings, listening to people I knew getting torn apart. Mrs. Chen from downstairs kept screaming for her grandson until she couldn't scream anymore. The mailman, who always asked about my day, got dragged into one of those black holes that opened up right in the middle of the street. And me? I spent my final moments thinking about how Ethan had kissed my forehead that morning and said, "Don't worry, babe, we'll get through this together." Together. Right. I died alone in a city full of screaming people, betrayed by the 2 people who were supposed to love me most. The pain wasn't just physical. Those creatures, they feed on fear and despair, and I had plenty of both. As their claws tore through my skin, as my blood painted the walls of that abandoned grocery store, all I could think about was Jenny's face when she called me dead weight. All I could think about was Ethan's complete inability to look at me as he chose her over me. But here's the thing about dying. Sometimes it's not the end. I woke up in my bed 7 days before any of it happened. 7 days before the sirens, before the betrayal, before the world ended. At first, I thought it was just a nightmare, but then I saw the date on my phone, March 15th. The same weather report about unusual atmospheric disturbances. The same coffee stain on my shirt from when I'd spilled my morning cup. Every single detail was exactly the same. I sat there for hours, just staring at the ceiling, trying to process what was happening. Had I actually died? Had I actually been given a second chance? Or was this some kind of elaborate delusion brought on by trauma? Then my phone rang. Jenny. "Hey, want to grab lunch today? I have something important to tell you." the same words, the exact same inflection. I could have said them along with her. This was real. Somehow, impossibly, I had been given a week to prepare for what was coming. A week to figure out what I was going to do about Ethan and Jenny. Because here's the thing they don't know. I know what they're planning. I know about their secret conversations and their hidden supplies, and I know exactly how they're going to abandon me when things get tough. But as I hung up the phone, something else occurred to me. Something that made my blood run cold. If I could remember everything that happened, if I could remember every detail of how the world ended, then maybe I could figure out something else too. Maybe I could figure out why it happened. So I started digging, really investigating this time, instead of just trusting them blindly. I broke into Jenny's computer while she was at work, used the password she'd given me months ago when I helped her set up her online banking. What I found there made me wish I'd never woken up at all. Emails with coordinates, payment records, detailed plans about evacuation routes and safe zones. My best friend hadn't just betrayed me during the apocalypse. She had helped cause it. The woman I'd shared my deepest secrets with, who I'd trusted with my life, was working with the people who wanted to end the world. And those late-night phone calls Ethan kept taking, the ones he said were about work, he was in on it too. They weren't just planning to abandon me. They were planning to kill everyone, and I was the only one who could stop them. But here's what's really twisted. Now that I know the truth, now that I understand how this all plays out, I have a choice to make. Do I warn the world about what's coming? Do I try to save everyone? Or do I let it happen exactly the way it's supposed to? Because when you know the future, when you know exactly how everything is going to unfold, you have real power. And I'm starting to think that maybe I don't want to be the hero of this story. Maybe I want to watch the world burn, but this time I want to be the one in control. This time, when Jenny looks at me and calls me dead weight, when Ethan shoves me toward the door and tells me there's only enough supplies for 2 people, they're going to learn what real betrayal feels like. They're going to discover what happens when you underestimate someone who has already died once and has absolutely nothing left to lose. The coffee shop looks exactly the same as it did a week from now, or a week ago, depending on how you look at time when you've already died once. Jenny's sitting at our usual table, stirring her latte, with that nervous energy she gets when she's about to drop a bombshell. She has no idea I already know what she's going to say. So, she starts, and I can practically mouth the words along with her. You know how I've been working on that climate research project? Climate research. Right. That's what she's been calling it. I nod, playing the part of the trusting best friend. One last time. Yeah, the one with all those late-night meetings. Well, it's bigger than I thought. Way bigger. She leans forward, and for a split second, I see genuine excitement in her eyes. The kind of excitement that makes my stomach turn now that I know what it really means. We're on the verge of something incredible. Something that could change everything. Change everything. She's not wrong about that. What do you mean? I ask, and I hate how easy it is to slip back into this role. The eager, supportive friend who hangs on every word. The dead weight who never contributed anything. I can't tell you all the details yet, but there's this group of scientists, really brilliant people, and they've figured out a way to reset things, to give the planet a fresh start. Jenny's eyes are practically glowing now. Think about it, Em. Climate change, overpopulation, resource depletion. What if we could solve all of it at once? A fresh start? That's one way to put genocide, I suppose. That sounds amazing, I lie, taking a sip of my coffee to hide my expression. When do I get to meet these brilliant scientists? And there it is, the micro-expression I missed the first time around, the tiny flicker of something that might be guilt or might just be calculation. Well, that's the thing. This project, it's really exclusive. They're very careful about who they bring in. Oh, I let disappointment colour my voice, just like I did before. So you don't think I'd be a good fit? It's not that you're not smart enough, Em. It's just they need people with specific skill sets, people who can handle the more challenging aspects of the project. Challenging aspects, like watching the world burn while you're safe in your underground bunker. But here's what's different this time. I'm not just listening to her words. I'm watching her body language, paying attention to the things she's not saying, the way she keeps checking her phone, the way she glances at the door every few minutes like she's expecting someone. Jenny, I say carefully, can I ask you something? Of course. Are you happy? I mean, really happy, because lately you seem different. For a moment, her mask slips completely. I see something raw and desperate in her eyes, something that looks almost like fear. Different how? I don't know. Distant, like you're carrying some huge secret that's eating you alive. She laughs, but it's hollow. Don't be dramatic, Em. I'm fine, better than fine, actually. This project, it's given me purpose. For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm part of something that matters. Something that matters. More than our friendship, apparently. More than the lives of 7 billion people. That's great, I say. And I mean it, because her honesty, even partial honesty, is helping me understand something crucial. Jenny isn't just a cold-blooded killer. She's a true believer. She actually thinks she's saving the world, which makes her so much more dangerous than I originally thought. After lunch, I follow her. Not obviously. I learned a few things about staying invisible during my 3 days of hiding in the apocalypse. Jenny takes a route through the city that makes no sense if she's going back to her apartment. She doubles back on herself twice, takes unnecessary detours, and keeps checking over her shoulder. She's been trained in counter-surveillance. My best friend, who used to get lost in our own neighbourhood, has been trained in counter-surveillance. She finally stops at a building I've never seen before, a nondescript office complex in the industrial district. But as I watch from across the street, I notice things that scream, not what it appears to be. The windows are all tinted too dark, there are no company logos anywhere, and the people going in and out, they all have the same look. Alert, purposeful, slightly paranoid. This is where they're planning the end of the world. I wait until Jenny disappears inside, then circle the building looking for another way in. That's when I spot him, Ethan, coming out of a side entrance with a man I don't recognise. They're deep in conversation, and I can catch fragments of what they're saying. Timeline moved up. Still concerns about the test subjects. Acceptable losses. Acceptable losses. I wonder if I was always going to be one of those. I follow them to a parking garage, staying in the shadows. My heart pounding so hard I'm sure they can hear it, but they're too absorbed in their conversation to notice me. The serum is ready, the stranger says, and his voice makes my skin crawl. It's too smooth, too calm for someone discussing mass murder. We've tested it on the smaller populations, and the results are exactly what we projected. And the antidote? Ethan asks. Secured in the safe houses? Your girlfriend won't be a problem, will she? I know you've grown attached. Ethan doesn't answer right away, and for a moment I think maybe there's still something human left in him. Maybe he'll say he can't do it, can't betray me like this. She's not part of the plan, he says finally. She never was. The stranger nods approvingly. Good. Emotional attachments are liabilities in this business. The world we're creating has no room for weakness. They shake hands, and I have to bite my lip to keep from screaming. The man I love, the man who whispered sweet nothings in my ear this morning, just casually condemned me to death. But the worst part? I'm not even surprised anymore. As they walk away, I realise something that changes everything. I've been thinking about this all wrong. I've been so focused on the betrayal, on the personal hurt, that I missed the bigger picture. This isn't just about Jenny and Ethan choosing each other over me. This is about them choosing themselves over everyone. They're not just planning to abandon me when the world ends. They're planning to end the world themselves. And that means I'm not just a victim anymore. I'm a witness. I'm evidence. I'm the one person who could expose their entire operation and save millions of lives. But here's the thing. I don't want to be the hero. Heroes die. Heroes sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Heroes trust people and get betrayed. I want to be something else entirely. I want to be the villain they never saw coming. Because if I've learned anything from dying once, it's that the world is full of people who will smile to your face while they sharpen the knife for your back. Jenny and Ethan aren't anomalies. They're just more honest about it than most people. So why should I save a world that's full of people just like them? Instead, I'm going to do something they'll never expect. I'm going to let their plan proceed, but I'm going to make sure I'm the one who survives it. And when the dust settles, when the world they've created rises from the ashes of the old one, I'm going to be there waiting for them, with a knife of my own. 3 days left until the world ends, and I'm sitting in my car outside the industrial complex, watching my boyfriend and best friend walk into their secret headquarters like they own the place. They have no idea that tonight, everything changes. I've spent the last 4 days being the perfect girlfriend, the perfect friend, smiling at Ethan's lies, laughing at Jenny's jokes, playing the role of the naive girl who trusts everyone. But while they've been planning humanity's extinction, I've been planning something else entirely. I've been learning their weaknesses. Jenny's computer password wasn't just for her banking, it was for everything. Her entire digital life laid bare, and what I found there made my blood run cold. Video calls with people I didn't recognise discussing population reduction targets and optimal survival ratios. Bank transfers to offshore accounts. Most chilling of all, a document titled Post-Reset Personnel Assignments, where my name appeared exactly once, in a section labelled Acceptable Losses, Tier 3. Tier 3? Not even important enough for Tier 1 or 2. But the real revelation came when I hacked into Ethan's laptop. He'd been sloppy, probably because he never expected Sweet, trusting Amelia to go snooping. What I found there changed everything I thought I knew about this conspiracy. The serum they're planning to release. It's not just going to kill most of humanity, it's going to transform the survivors into something else, something controllable. The people behind this don't just want to reset the world, they want to remake it with themselves as gods and everyone else as their willing slaves. Except for one tiny problem they haven't accounted for. Me. I knew I needed proof, something concrete I could use against them. So I did something that would have been impossible for the old Amelia, the trusting fool who died in that grocery store. I stole a key card from Jenny's purse during one of our friendly dinners, cloned it using equipment I bought online, and tonight I'm going to break into their facility. The building is quieter at night, but not empty. I can see lights on the 3rd floor, shadows moving behind the tinted windows. I slip in through the loading dock, using the cloned keycard to disable the alarm system. The corridors are sterile, corporate, completely unremarkable. You'd never guess this place was ground zero for the apocalypse. I find the elevator and head to the 3rd floor, my heart pounding but my mind crystal clear. I've already died once. What's the worst that could happen? The elevator doors open onto a scene that looks like something from a science fiction movie. Banks of computers, wall-mounted screens showing global population statistics, and in the centre of it all, a massive table covered with maps and charts. But it's not the technology that stops me cold. It's the photographs, dozens of them, covering one entire wall, before and after shots of what they're calling test sites. Small towns, remote villages, places where people could disappear without anyone noticing. The after photos show empty streets, abandoned buildings, and occasionally figures that don't look quite human anymore. They've been testing their serum for months. Impressive, isn't it? I spin around, my heart stopping. Jenny's standing in the doorway, but she's not alone. Ethan's behind her, along with 3 other people I don't recognise. They're all smiling, but there's nothing friendly about it. "Hello, Amelia," says a woman I've never seen before. She's older, maybe 50, with silver hair and eyes that look like they've never felt genuine emotion. "I'm Dr. Sarah Chen. I believe you have something that belongs to us?" She's holding up a tablet, and on the screen is security footage of me cloning Jenny's keycard. My heart sinks, but I force myself to stay calm. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Oh, but you do." Jenny steps forward, and her voice is different now. Colder, more confident. You've been very busy these past few days, haven't you? Hacking into our computers, following us around, playing detective. Did you really think we wouldn't notice? The worst part is how pleased she looks, like she's finally dropped a mask she was tired of wearing. We've been watching you since the moment you woke up, Ethan says, and his voice makes my skin crawl. Did you really think dying and coming back was some kind of accident? Some miracle? The room tilts around me. What are you talking about? Dr. Chen smiles, and it's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. The serum has some interesting side effects. In rare cases, subjects who die from exposure can experience what we call temporal displacement. They relive their final week convinced they have a chance to change things. No, this can't be happening. You're not special, Amelia. You're not chosen. You're just another test subject who had an unusual reaction to our formula. Jenny's voice is almost gentle now, like she's talking to a child. And you've been incredibly useful. We needed to test whether temporal displacement subjects would try to warn others or seek revenge. You've provided us with invaluable data. I'm backing toward the window, but there's nowhere to go. You're lying. Am I? Think about it, Em. Why would you be the only one who remembered? Why would you be the only one who got a second chance? Ethan's moving closer, and I can see something in his hand now. A syringe. Because you're not. You're just the latest in a long line of test subjects. The beautiful thing about temporal displacement, Dr. Chen continues, is that subjects always think they're in control. They think they're the hero of their own story. But really, they're just rats in a maze running the same pattern over and over while we take notes. Jenny laughs, and it's the sound of our friendship finally dying. You should see your face right now. It's the same expression you had when we threw you out during the apocalypse. The same look of betrayal and confusion. Because this isn't the first time you've lived through this week, Ethan says, and the syringe is almost within reach now. We've been running this experiment for months. You die, you come back, you try to stop us, and we learn a little more about how temporal displacement works. I'm pressed against the window now, trapped, but as I look at their faces, at the cruel satisfaction in their eyes, something inside me snaps. Not breaks, snaps into place. Because here's what they don't understand. Even if this is all just an experiment, even if I'm just a lab rat running through a maze, there's one thing they've overlooked. Sometimes rats bite back. You're right, I say, and my voice is steadier than I feel. I'm not special. I'm not chosen. I'm just a test subject who had an unusual reaction to your formula. They're all nodding, pleased that I'm finally accepting the truth. But here's the thing about unusual reactions, I continue, backing further toward the window. They're unpredictable. That's when I pull out the phone I've been recording on since I walked into this room. The phone that's been live streaming everything to every major news outlet, every social media platform, every conspiracy theory forum on the internet. And sometimes, I say, just before I throw myself backwards through the window, the rat remembers more than you think she does. The last thing I see before I hit the ground is their faces, finally understanding that their perfect little experiment just became a global catastrophe. But this time, I'm the one who gets to watch the world burn. I should be dead. 4 stories onto concrete should have killed me instantly. But as I lie here in a pool of my own blood, watching the facility above me erupt into chaos, I realize something that changes everything. I'm not dying. I'm healing. The bones in my legs are knitting themselves back together. The gash on my forehead is closing. And the pain? It's not fading. It's transforming into something else entirely. Something that feels like power. My live stream worked. Within minutes of my broadcast, every major news network in the world is running the story. The footage of Dr. Chen calmly discussing population reduction, of Jenny and Ethan revealing their true faces, of the wall of photographs showing their test sites. It's all there, broadcasted to every corner of the globe. But as I watch the news coverage on my cracked phone screen, I start to notice something strange. The story is spreading too fast, too perfectly. Social media algorithms that should be suppressing conspiracy theories are amplifying my video instead. News anchors who should be fact-checking are presenting it as absolute truth. It's like someone wanted this information to get out. Then I hear footsteps behind me. "Magnificent work, Amelia!" I turn to see Dr. Chen walking toward me, completely calm, despite the fact that her facility is surrounded by news vans and police cars. She's not even trying to hide anymore. "You're not surprised," I say, struggling to sit up. My legs are working again mostly. "Surprised? My dear, you've exceeded our wildest expectations." She sits down on the concrete beside me, like we're old friends having a chat. "Do you know how many temporal displacement subjects we've tested? 47. And do you know how many of them thought to live stream their final confrontation?" My blood runs cold. None, she confirms. "They all tried to warn people quietly, or they attempted revenge through traditional means. But you understood something they didn't. You understood the power of narrative." She's right. Even as a test subject, even as a rat in their maze, I'd found a way to weaponize the story itself. But here's what you haven't figured out yet, Dr. Chen continues, her voice taking on that same terrifying gentleness. "Why would we let you broadcast our secret to the world? Why would we allow you to expose everything we've worked for?" The truth hits me like a physical blow. "Because you wanted it exposed." Exactly. You see, Amelia, the serum was never meant to be a secret weapon. It was meant to be a public solution. But people are so resistant to change, so attached to their little lives and their little concerns. They needed to be scared first. They needed to see the monster before they'd accept the cure. I'm staring at her, understanding, but not wanting to believe it. "You're going to use my video to justify releasing the serum. You're going to say it's necessary to stop the conspiracy. The world is already ending, dear. Climate change, resource depletion, social collapse. We're just accelerating the inevitable. But now, thanks to your lovely broadcast, people will beg us to save them. They'll line up for injections, grateful to be protected from the terrible conspiracy you've exposed." She stands up, brushing dust off her coat. "The beauty of your temporal displacement is that it made you the perfect unwitting agent. Every loop, every reset, you gathered intelligence and found new ways to expose us. You refined our plan without even realizing it." "How many times?" I ask, my voice barely a whisper. "This is loop number 47. Jenny and Ethan don't remember. Their memories reset with each cycle. But you retain fragments, emotional impressions, instinctive knowledge. It's what made you such an effective investigator." 47 times? I've lived through this betrayal 47 times, and each time I thought I was finally getting my revenge. "But here's the thing, Dr. Chen," I say, and I'm surprised by how steady my voice sounds. "There's something you don't know about loop number 47. She raises an eyebrow. "Oh, I didn't just live stream our conversation. I live streamed everything, including this conversation right now." Her face goes pale for the first time since I've known her. "That's impossible. The facility has signal jammers." "It does. But I'm not broadcasting from inside the facility anymore." I hold up my phone, showing her the little red recording light. "I'm broadcasting from outside, and the whole world just heard you admit that this is all planned, that you've been manipulating me for 47 loops, that the serum is real and you're about to release it." For a moment, she looks genuinely shaken. Then she smiles, and it's even more terrifying than before. "You clever little rat, but you're forgetting something crucial." "What's that?" "Who do you think taught you how to hack our systems? Who do you think gave you the idea to live stream in the first place?" The world tilts around me. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that even this conversation is part of the plan. Even your defiance, your clever little twist, your moment of triumph, it's all scripted. Because people need to see the complete picture. They need to see the conspiracy, the cover-up, the revelation, and the final confession. They need the full story before they'll accept the solution." She's right. Every major news outlet is already running with the story. Global conspiracy exposed. Scientists admit to planned pandemic. The public is terrified, angry, demanding action. And when Dr. Chen and her people offer the serum as protection, as the only way to survive what's coming, people will take it willingly. You see, Amelia, the most effective lies are the ones that contain just enough truth to be believable, and the most effective manipulation is the kind that makes people think they're choosing freely. I'm shaking now, but not from fear, from rage. Pure, white-hot rage that feels like it's burning me from the inside out. 47 loops, I say. 47 times you've used me, manipulated me, turned me into your puppet. Yes, 47 times you've made me watch the people I love betray me. Yes. And every single time I've been playing by your rules. Dr. Chen nods, still smiling. Every single time. Well, I say, standing up on legs that are now completely healed. This is loop number 48. Before she can react, I grab her by the throat. But instead of squeezing, I do something that shocks both of us. I kiss her. Not a passionate kiss, not a romantic kiss, but something else entirely. A kiss that transfers something from me to her, something that tastes like copper and feels like lightning. When I pull away, her eyes are wide with terror. What did you just do? I gave you a gift, I say, wiping blood from my lips. You see, after 47 loops of being injected with your serum, of dying and coming back, of having my body broken and rebuilt, something interesting happened. I stopped being entirely human. The colour drains from her face. That's impossible. Is it? You said yourself that I have an unusual reaction to the serum. What if the unusual reaction isn't just temporal displacement? What if it's evolution? I can see her mind racing, trying to understand what I've done. The kiss was me sharing my immunity with you. My real immunity. Not to the serum, to death itself. Congratulations, Dr. Chen. You're now going to live through every single loop alongside me. You're going to remember every betrayal, every manipulation, every moment of pain you've caused. The horror in her eyes is beautiful. But here's the best part, I continue, backing away from her. I'm not resetting the loop this time. I am breaking it. The serum is going to be released just like you planned. The world is going to end just like you wanted. But this time, I'm not going to be the victim. I pull out a vial from my pocket. The same serum they've been testing, but modified, enhanced. I've been busy these past 47 loops, learning, adapting, becoming something new. And now, I'm going to give everyone the same gift I just gave you. You can't, she whispers. You'll kill everyone. No, I say, breaking the vial and letting its contents evaporate into the air. I'm going to save everyone, in my own way, on my own terms. The last thing I see before the world changes forever is Dr. Chen's face, finally understanding that her perfect little experiment has created something she never intended. A monster who learned to love being monstrous. And as the screaming begins, as the world starts to tear itself apart, I realise I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not the victim. I'm not the hero, and I'm not the villain. I'm something entirely new. I'm the Queen of Ashes, and this is my kingdom now.